So now we're going to look at the MVC concept. This is the model, the view, and controller. And this is the core concept that drives OpenUI5. So firstly, MVC is an OpenUI5 concept that allows the separation of information from user interaction. It allows for collaborative development and facilitates independent code changes, which is very important when you're building apps. SAP uses a modified version of MVC, which allows dependency reversal, data binding, and multiple view types. So data binding is also used to bind controls to the model and allows for automatically updating the control once the application data is modified. This is very important when we're building our apps. So just to give a little bit more breakdown of the model, the view, and the controller, your model manages the behavior and application data. For example, your JSON file, your OData connection, XML. The view, it defines and renders the user interface, which is your display. So you can have XML views, you can have HTML views. Those are examples of views that are possible. The controller reacts to the view, events, and user interaction. So your mouse clicks, your keyboard, whatever it is that you're doing, it is reacting to those. And it then modifies the view and model. There are at least 4 files that will be needed for our standalone SAP OpenUI5 mobile application. So because we're getting our web server and we're installing locally on machine and building the apps as standalone apps, there are at least 4 files that we'll need to build this. For Fiori Launchpad, we need at least 3 files. So the HTML files that are typically required, the files that are required are your HTML page, and we're going to use this in the standalone. When you're building for Fiori, it's not really needed. You have the manifest.json, the component.js, and we're going to use our app.view.xml. So our view will be in XML. We'll build our component file using JavaScript, and our manifest will be in JSON. We're actually not going to cover the manifest in this course. I'll just give a little overview of it. So we're really going to be actually using the HTML file or HTML page or component.js, and we'll be having our view. So next we're going to look at setting up our environment, right? So we need to set up the environment on our machines for development. So previously we downloaded the SDK and we placed it under the htdocs folder in our XAMPP installation. So we have that for our local server. We validated that our install was fine and everything works. Then we created our folder that we'll be using to create this app for this course, the My App folder, and we copied our resources folder there. We created a view subfolder. We will be creating a view subfolder under My App folder to host app.view.xml. So that will be the next step that we'll be moving on to. And we're going to build our component.js, and the manifest.json will be under My App. As I mentioned before, we won't be covering the manifest in this. We won't be building that out here. But just so you know that that would be where it would be placed.